So I was looking to purchase property in Mill Hill, Googled all the estate agents around here, saw Martin Gerard's website, was very impressed by it, gave them a call, was introduced to Marco, and 3 months later I purchased this place. Yeah, I mean, I did the whole Rightmove property finder Google search, so I did speak to lots of other agents. Lots of other agents were quite forceful in just presenting what they had and what they wanted me to buy rather than listening to my needs, my desires, my wants. And I gave Marco a list of what was really important to me, and I wouldn't even have considered the house that I bought, but he knew instinctively that it was right for me. He just understood me, he knew where I was coming from, he knew what I wanted, he knew the minute I walked in here that I would love it, and he was right. So to have that personal relationship and someone who took the time out to be bothered, to understand what I really wanted and find something that suited me was really different to the other agents who only wanted to sell what they needed to sell. So again, he didn't waste my time showing me things that he must have felt instinctively in those first few viewings that those weren't right. So he just kind of took me away from what I thought was right and actually presented me with something that was 100% perfect. The main thing for me with estate agents is honesty and transparency. Everybody knows the estate agent's game. This isn't the first time I've bought. So I'd kind of geared myself up for the game playing, and I felt that Martin Gerard didn't do that. They were really honest, they were really transparent through the whole process, and there were hiccups, there were ups and downs, which is why it took a bit longer than the norm perhaps. What else is really important to me? Communication as well. If the guys weren't in the office, they'd call me from their mobiles, which I really appreciated. If I called the office and they weren't in, I'd always get a phone call back within sort of half an hour, which again I really appreciated. I never felt like I had to chase them, which I found in the past with other estate agents. I'd be constantly chasing, trying to get answers, find out what was going on. And I never felt played either. You know, when they do the bidding wars and they're like, somebody's offered this, somebody's offered that, which we all know is game playing. They didn't do that, and that was really important for me, that it was honest, transparent and communicative all the way through. Yeah, the presentation of the property online is beautiful. It's really, really well done. It's easy to navigate. In fact, I had the tab open on my laptop for months, and that was like my visual go-to, just going back to the Martin Gerard website to look at the house I knew I was going to buy. It has a sense of familiarity and ease of use, and I don't know, they present it really, really well. That was kind of like my grounding for buying the house, to go back to that website. It's a lot nicer than a lot of others. Actually, there was one other property that Marco knew about that wasn't being presented by Martin Gerard, and he mentioned it to me, which I thought was quite above and beyond, because he was potentially taking the business away from Martin Gerard. That really impressed me. It wasn't the property for me in the end, but that's not the norm. You know, his priority was finding me my new home, not necessarily pocketing his commission. That made a real difference. So I wanted to do the testimonial for Marco and Jamie because it has been a complicated purchase. There's been lots of ups and downs, and these guys have been so supportive, so transparent, so communicative, so honest, so lovely and just open through the whole process that I wanted to give something back. I wanted to say thank you, and Marco helped me find my dream home. I mean, I would never have even considered it. I wouldn't have looked at it on the internet. I wouldn't have booked a viewing, but he knew that it was right for me. And without him, I wouldn't be here. So this is my way of saying thank you. I definitely would recommend Martin Gerard. The whole process has just been easy, effortless, compared to other processes that I've been through. So yes, I would definitely recommend them.